Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the TNT report for the 15th of November 1985. I love going back to the 80s. I love going back to the 70s, but there isn't as much 70s footage available. Heck, I'd go back to the dawn of television if the footage was there. Regardless, this is Pro Wrestling Logic, where we discuss a variety of pro wrestling related topics in a positive direction in a good way. And we do that as often as we can, usually several times per week, and we make something good happen to that. This, as mentioned, is the 11/15 85 edition of the TNT program. Again, we're going to finish off the program probably over the next month. That's my goal. I'd love to also get Saturday night's main event done if I can. My goal is to have as many of these as possible. Johnny V, aka Johnny Valiant, is out there basically saying that his team, the Dream Team, aka Greg Valentine and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, are willing to fight whomever they need to in order to be, completely there. And he also talks about him stepping back into the ring upon occasion. He basically hypes up the Dream Team and the fact that he has been the mastermind behind their success all along, and that he doesn't expect for that to change. Eventually, we do see Greg Valentine come out, and British Beefcake as well. Beefcake and Valentine are your tag team champions for the moment, winning the championships back from the U.S. Express. And again, we're late 85, so this is before getting involved with the British Bulldogs, although the British Bulldogs are mentioned on this program. Highlights of a match for the, I guess, Valentine and Beefcake team. Highlights are shown here. And again, double teams with Valentine leading the majority of the match, working over the legs. And you see Luscious Johnny Valiant on the outside of the ring. Super basic squash match, as it were. Very punch kick motivated. But the Dream Team does have one thing, and that is a unified way of looking at things. Beefcake hits a backbreaker, among other things. Valentine coming up pretty aggressively, assertively, in a very basic way. But at the end of the day, some very simple ways and trying to cut it off. The Beefcake does manage to get a kick and knee into the midsection of his adversary, and manages to do everything he can as far as getting things going in a, I guess, what Vince would consider a proper direction or a good direction there. Anyhow, we have ultimately Vince McMahon managing to get a run here. Lou Albano then takes Christmas requests, everything from time with Elizabeth and opportunities to be WWF superstars, speaking lessons with George Steele, among other things. Lou Albano playing Santa Claus in this particular deal. I mean, it's hokey, it's goofy, but Lou Albano as Santa Claus somehow strikes me as something that would be an interesting party gag. Then they go to Fuji General. Fuji General is, of course, a mock of the Mr. Fuji and Don Morocco doing the acting things, claiming that they had been set forth to be on other soap operas, Search for Tomorrow, among other things. Fuji is super excited by this. I mean, it's super campy. It's a waste of time. It's basically Fuji and Morocco playing doctors and nurses in a goofy way. Also setting up the continuation of the feud for Don Morocco and Ricky Steamboat, which has been a good bit of 1985, and I believe the angle around the Steamboat and Morocco feud has either aired or will air in the next few weeks. But Steamboat in squash match highlights is also here. Super basic stuff. Steamboat hits the crossbody off the top, and actually it is on this particular program that Morocco jumps Steamboat from the outside, whips him with a belt several times, and I don't think they've done the hanging him over the top rope. Mr. Fuji also in his wrestling gear at the time, laying Steamboat out with a belt in the Pennsylvania television studios. Super basic stuff. Nothing necessarily to write home about, but at the same time, an angle that launches a feud that lasts for several months and an amazing run of time there. Don Morocco basically says that he has been scouted by various acting agencies and other such. Uh, Again, Morocco flirting with the nurses as Dr. Morocco in the Fuji Vice area. Such a long way from the fact of Don Morocco being in the Intercontinental title run for the earlier part of the 80s, and then also highlights from Fuji Bandito, including Fabulous Moolah acting as in a saloon, and there is a mock gunfight. Freddie Blassie is the bartender. I'm not doing this justice, but at the same time, this is the level of hokey that not even I can get behind. It's one of those things where it's so good it's bad. You have to actually witness it, but the idea behind it is trying to put Morocco in the position of being a, I guess, greater actor than he was prior, than Mr. Fuji and Captain Lou Albano do a bit of a competition, throwing, I think it's darts or something of that nature, or people running races and doing handoffs and all of that. Albano wins the competition, and that closes this particular edition. Although right before then, before we go completely to close, Roddy Piper is on the Year of Piper WWF magazine, which is actually a magazine I'd never seen until I saw this particular episode. But we'll be back with more right after this.